Simon, just firstly on the MRO this week, Cade Chandler, how's he going after copping the 2 weeks?
Yeah, look, Cade's fine. He was pretty emotional, on Sunday after the event. He's pretty disappointed that Luke Foley suffered the concussion. Obviously, it was a footy incident, but a lot of momentum in that tackle and a really hard one to execute. So, he'll cop the 2 weeks and keep moving forward, but obviously disappointed for Cade. He started to play some really good footy. He was our sub and came onto the ground, actually played really well for the 10 minutes or so that he was on the ground. So disappointing for Cade, but he understands the decision.
A couple of guys on your injury list at the moment listed as TBC, Holmes and Hibbert. Are they much chance this week?
Yeah, Harmsy's got a slight hamstring, so he'll be 2 to 3 weeks, which is disappointing for James. Obviously been in some really good form as well, so he'll miss the next 2 to 3 weeks. Hopefully it's probably closer to 2. And Hibbo's probably getting really close to a return, but our VFL team has got a bye, so he'll probably come back in the week after that and is obviously really close to returning to footy, which is great. He's missed a lot of footy and it'd be good to get him back.
And Salem as well, still at least a week away?
Yeah, Salo's at least a week away, so we're hopeful that only be one, but he'll do a bit of training next week and hopefully he'll be right to play. So we'll see how he goes, but hopefully only one or 2 weeks away.
Just on Hibbert, Simon, has that been more significant than you first thought? Because there was obviously, he got closer earlier in the year and had a few setbacks as well.
Yeah, look, he's had a couple of really setbacks in this space with his calf. He was, initially it wasn't too much, and then just re-strained it for the second time, and then we took a longer period to rehabilitate one of his calves, and then right as he's about to return to play VFL footy, he got a little slight strain on his other calf. So has been a bit of an ongoing thing for the last 10 or 12 weeks, which has been disappointing for Michael because he's been really close a couple of times, but it's given us a little bit more time to put some real strength and fitness work into him, and he's ready to go. He had a fantastic pre-season. It looked like he was going to be a really prominent player for us, and obviously he's a premiership player that we want to get back into our program. So he's very close to returning, and hopefully it'll be next week.
Simon, at 9-0, what are you actually working on? Where can you improve this week and going forward?
Yeah, we're looking at all of our game at the moment, how we can improve. Clearly, what we do without the ball is one thing that we've been working on all the time within our game, especially from the front end of how we defend all the way through to the back end. And, clearly the points against has been a real strong focus for us, but it's continuing to look at how we want to look at the end of the year in a whole range of different areas. And, our team continually evolves. We continue to see different opportunities for players to play some different positions, and like an Angus Brayshaw is a great example of that. Moving to half-back and having the impact that he's having in a season is really, important for us. But we're always going to continue to find ways where we can improve, and whether that be forward to centre or behind, and how we defend best. So we sit comfortably at the moment, and we've built a great foundation, but we're certainly not comfortable with where we want to end up, and we'll just keep on our short-term focuses about what we want to get better at.
How do you come up against North Melbourne, who are obviously struggling a bit at the moment? How do you guard against complacency this week?
We talk about execution of role and about the Melbourne Footy Club looking the same way every week, and being really clear about what we want to stand for, both in the short term but also long term, about what we want to become by the end of the year. And competition for spots is high, and the things that we want to improve on, we really do break it down to some really simple focuses for our playing group. And we have a highly competitive group that want to get better all the time, and we'll be coming to this week and we'll respect the opposition, the Kangaroos, for what they can bring, and they're a tough team around the ball, so we've got to respect that and be at our best in that space.
Simon, just on the Brayshaw move there, given you get Salem and potentially Hibbert back, does that then change, and you know that when you can, should you need to, you can throw Gus back there, and that's something you can do to throw something different teams? Is that something in these first 9 rounds that you've been able to do with those guys out?
I think anytime you've got guys out, it gives you opportunities to look at players in different roles and get some more information about your team. And the information we've got about Angus Brayshaw in this period has been that he's an elite half-back flanker. and the way that he can impact the game is significant. So, with these guys coming back in, it'll tighten up the competition for spots. But one thing we know is Angus is playing some great footy, and we're probably going to be hesitant to move him at this point.
Simon, I'll try again.
Thanks, Katie. Yeah, I got you.
The internet in the Casey car park is not flash. Just talking about coming up against North and obviously they're going through a few issues at the moment. Damien Hardwick spoke yesterday about sort of the coaching fraternity and how sort of now there is that sort of support around each other. Although you've got a battle this weekend, do you sort of feel for David Noble and what he's going through at the moment?
I think there's a mutual respect for all coaches around the stages of their footy clubs that they're at, and every club's at a slightly different stage in their development and their process, their list, and a whole range of different things. But one thing I know about David, he's a fine person and a fine coach. I've known him for a number of years, and they've got the right man for the job in their footy club. They're clearly going through a rebuild of such, and they're getting some highly talented people to their footy club, and David's one of those. And I think from a coaching perspective, we support each other. We understand the challenges that sit within the job, and I'm sure he'll come out the other side coaching a very strong footy team.
And just with these 2 weeks, obviously coming up against West Coast and North, the couple of weeks after that, though, with Freo, is there a sense of wanting to sort of make sure that you've got things right this week, heading into that fortnight to come?
Yeah, we don't look at it like that at all, Katie. We really look at our footy in terms of what we're trying to get better at from week in, week out. And I got asked last week whether we're going to rest players when we travel. We're going to rest players if they're at this stage, and we're just not at that stage. We want to continue to build cohesion with our footy team. We want to continue to look for ways to improve and get as strong as we can be, and we'll continue to do that on a week-by-week basis. We know we've got challenges ahead of us, but we also know we've got a strong footy team this week in North Melbourne that we need to play well against and look at how we can get better, and that's what we'll be focused on purely.
Simon, the rebrand of the club this week, how much does that mean to the club, and what have you made of that decision for Sir Doug Nicholls round?
I think it's fantastic, and I was speaking to our Indigenous players and Matty Whelan, who is our Indigenous officer. The emotion that comes with it from their perspective is quite significant, and the awareness that it will generate in the community to ask questions, to talk about Indigenous culture, to bring awareness to a really important element of our culture in Australian history is something that we're really proud of. And Matty Whelan's spent a lot of time working on this, and he's rolled it out this week, and he actually got quite emotional when it finally took place at the start of this week. And we're very proud that it's taken place, and one we're going to embrace in the next few weeks.
You like the new jumper?
Love it. I saw it on Toby Bedford the other day. I think it looks fantastic. And yeah, we're looking forward to running out with it the next few weeks.
Playing at Marvel Stadium, something you don't do a heck of a lot. Is there anything different about playing there? Do you prepare for it any differently?
No, we haven't played there a lot in recent times, but we've generally had a pretty good history when we play there. But we know it's going to be pretty good weather, so we're looking forward to that. So yeah, look, it's a different ground, so we just embrace anywhere we play, but we're looking forward to getting there and having a good hit out.
Could he a couple of just broader issues? I think I might know the answer to this one, but the commission is apparently meeting and deciding on the Twilight Grand Final. You've obviously been through it, albeit in Perth. What was that experience like? And if you did have a preference, what would it be?
Yeah, look, it's a really tough one. We'd be fortunate to play at any time, but I can only talk on our experience from last year, and it was a magnificent occasion. I thought the game was brilliant. It had a great feel from an entertainment perspective. Both the sunset and the nighttime sort of game, it brought a lot of atmosphere to the ground, and it was just a wonderful experience to be involved in. So, if we're fortunate enough to go down that path this year, we're happy to play at any time. But Twilight certainly was a pretty special occasion for us.
And the AFL's looking at letting kids in for free, I think for 4 months, considering it. Do you think that would be a good thing to get crowds back to the game? And perhaps why do you think they're not turning up?
The more we can do as a game to get people to the footy, I think it's a fantastic initiative. We want full stadiums, we want big crowds, we want to expose our game to as many people as we can live. And I don't know why they would be a little bit down at the moment. Obviously the last 2 years have been very challenging from a community perspective, which we all know about, but the more we can embrace getting people back to the game, I think it's a great initiative.